Rachel Harris stepped quietly into the sleek Pinnacle Marketing Solutions office on a gray Friday morning in Chicago. The polished glass walls and cold steel fittings gleamed under the fluorescent lights luxurious. But to Rachel, it felt less like an office and more like a crystal cage, one ready to crush her under waves of contempt she'd endured every day she showed up here. She slid into her cubicle, already feeling the hostile stares burning into her back. Jessica, Mark, and Lauren, a trio of white colleagues who took pride in putting her down, were watching. Rachel kept her head low, opening her laptop and trying to focus, but she could feel the venom in the air. Then Jessica's sharp, mocking voice sliced through the silence, loud enough for half the office to hear. "Oh, Rachel, did you borrow that sweater from your grandma? You look like you just crawled out of a thrift store." Laughter rippled around her, cruel and cold, slicing through her like glass. Rachel's fingers trembled on the keyboard, but she didn't respond, no use giving them more fuel. Mark sauntered by with that arrogant smirk, throwing in, "Did you take the bus again? I swear I saw someone like you asking for spare change yesterday." Lauren, always ready to add insult to injury, whipped out her phone, snapping a picture of Rachel's worn tote bag and muttering, "Chiap second fashion. That's in a trend." Their laughter echoed, leaving Rachel's throat tight and her cheeks burning with shame. Still, she kept her expression neutral, pretending not to hear. Then came the moment she never saw coming. Jessica, with a cruel smile, dumped an entire can of soda over Rachel's sweater, soaking through the fabric, making it cling uncomfortably to her skin. "Oh, sorry, Rachel," Jessica taunted. "Figured you might need a shower, who knows if you're even clean, right?" Lauren immediately raised her phone to record, laughing hysterically. Mark kicked Rachel's chair hard enough to nearly knock her down. "You should just disappear," he sneered. "Nobody wants someone like you here." All eyes turned to Rachel, some averted, others smirking with delight. Jessica leaned close, whispering loud enough for the whole row to hear. "Do you really think someone like you belongs here? A poor black girl with no value? Don't even dream about respect." Those words stabbed deep, threatening to break something inside her, but Rachel clenched her jaw and stood, legs shaking, heading to the break room to wash off the sticky mess. Alone in front of the mirror, tears welled up, but she fought to keep them inside. Her reflection showed a woman bruised, but not broken. She called her husband, Nathan Pierce, the only person who truly understood the storm she was facing. Waiting for him, she let out silent tears, but also kindled a spark of hope. This humiliation wouldn't break her. It was the beginning of a fight she never knew she had. Rachel's story wasn't new to hardship. She grew up on Chicago's South Side, where graffiti-tagged walls and police sirens were the backdrop to her childhood. She learned early that her skin color was a barrier. Teachers eyed her with suspicion. White parents whispered complaints, and classmates bullied her relentlessly. But her mother, Mary, working long shifts at a convenience store, always said, "Education is the weapon to break free." Rachel held on to that, studying under dim lamps while others slept, turning every cruel word into fuel. High school was a battlefield, isolated, bullied, books thrown, taunts hurled. But Rachel graduated top of her class, earned a scholarship to the University of Chicago, where she met Nathan. They bonded over shared struggles, late-night study sessions, and dreams to break down racial barriers. Nathan, with his warm smile and fierce ambition, dreamed of a company where merit, not skin color, mattered. Rachel's resolve only deepened. College flew by. Both graduated with honors. Nathan launched Pierce Enterprises. Rachel built her career in marketing. She guarded her independence, fiercely, never using Nathan's name as a crutch. Their wedding was simple, a quiet celebration in a park. Rachel kept her maiden name, a reminder she was her own person. Back at Pinnacle, the hostility never eased. Jessica's disdain was palpable, glancing at Rachel's natural curls like they were a crime. In meetings, Jessica would loudly suggest Rachel's style belonged in a hip-hop coffee shop, and colleagues laughed as if cruelty was entertainment. Lauren posted videos mocking Rachel online, stirring office gossip and isolation. Mark made racist comments under his breath, never missing a chance to demean her. Worst was Brian Foster, Rachel's team leader, who did nothing to stop the abusing. In fact, he tacitly approved it. Rachel endured, but the pressure mounted. Jessica's soda attack was just the breaking point. Later that afternoon, Jessica spilled coffee over Rachel's meticulously prepared reports, laughing it off sarcastically while Lauren filmed it. Brian watched silently, then told Rachel during her review she wasn't cut out for high-caliber work. The office became a war zone, and Rachel's spirit, though battered, was far from broken. Summoning every ounce of courage, Rachel stood and addressed the room. "Thank you all for what just happened. I now have a much clearer understanding of my place here." The office fell silent, shocked by the unexpected strength in her voice. She no longer trembled. This humiliation was the spark that ignited her resolve. Her phone buzzed. Nathan was on his way. Jessica's mocking laughter returned, cruel barbs thrown her way, but Rachel held firm. When the office door swung open, Nathan Pierce entered, not just any visitor, but the CEO of Pierce Enterprises, the parent company of Pinnacle, and Rachel's husband. The room froze as Nathan strode in, his presence commanding. He knelt beside Rachel, voice low but firm. "Rachel, are you all right?" She nodded, gratitude shining through silent eyes. Jessica's face shifted from arrogance to horror, Mark and Lauren pale and shaken. Even Brian's usual cold composure cracked. Nathan addressed the office with authority. "Rachel Harris is my wife. I'm here because she has endured insults and discrimination here, behavior I will not tolerate." The weight of his words silenced every sneer. Jessica tried to dismiss it as a misunderstanding, but Nathan cut through with cold clarity. Dumping coffee and public insults aren't jokes. Theory racism. Mark tried to defend their cruelty as just joking. Lauren claimed ignorance, but Nathan exposed their prejudice and social media attacks as hateful acts. Brian, the silent bystander, was called out for failing his team, his excuses falling flat. Without hesitation, Nathan announced immediate termination for Jessica, Mark, Lauren, and Brian. Their careers effectively ended within Chicago's business community. Jessica's rage boiled over as she lunged toward Rachel, but Nathan stepped between them, voice thunderous, commanding respect. Security arrived to escort the fired employees out amid their screams and threats. The office was heavy with silence. Nathan turned to the remaining staff. "Pinnacle and all Pierce Enterprises subsidiaries will never tolerate racism or bullying. Repeat offenders will face consequences." Rachel stood strong beside him, feeling a protection she had never known before. For the first time, she saw herself reflected in Nathan's unwavering support, a partner, not just in life, but in justice. His final words to her, soft but clear, "You will never endure this again. Things will change." In the days that followed, the fired employees faced a public reckoning. Jessica's social media apology was drowned by a wave of condemnation, her reputation in ruins. Mark and Lauren's careers crumbled. Brian found himself blacklisted, unable to secure new roles. Rachel felt no joy in their downfall, only a solemn understanding that justice had its price. She and Nathan turned their energy to something greater. Rachel set up her own consulting firm, helping small businesses, especially those run by people of color, navigate financial challenges and grow sustainably. No longer confined to a hostile office, every day brought inspiration, purpose, and dignity. Together, Rachel and Nathan launched the Overcoming Prejudice Fund, providing support to workplace discrimination victims, raising awareness, and empowering others to stand up for themselves. Rachel shared her story at conferences, urging people not to stay silent, reminding them that courage and kindness could dismantle prejudice. Their initiative sparked a ripple effect across Chicago and beyond. Other companies followed Pierce Enterprises' lead, implementing anti-discrimination policies and support systems. Former co-workers who once stood silent reached out with apologies, eager to make amends and help build a fairer workplace culture. Rachel and Nathan sat together one evening, looking out at Chicago's skyline. Rachel whispered, I never wanted revenge. I just want people to understand that a person's worth isn't skin deep, it's in their character and ability. Nathan smiled, squeezing her hand. You've shown me that defending dignity is the greatest strength. Rachel's journey from humiliation to empowerment became a Biakona reminder that no matter how dark the struggle, resilience, love, and integrity light the way forward. So, what would you do if you were in Rachel's shoes? How do you think workplaces should handle discrimination? Share your thoughts below, and if this story moved you, like, share, and subscribe for more stories that matter. Because change begins with us all standing up together.